Alright, let's back up a bit. Start from the beginning.
Well, I was just
beginning.
Whoa! One at a time, please. Dr. Frankenstein, why don't you start us off?
Look, I never meant to do any harm. I was just curious as to what the realm of our human capability was, and if man could create life. It's as simple as that.
I apologize, Doctor, but this is therapy, and nothing is as simple as that. Now, let's talk about this thirst for knowledge. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, I've always been naturally curious, but it was around when I was 13 years old that I really started exploring things that were out of the realm of possibility.
So, you mentioned Agrippa.
Yes, I became very fond of his works, but my father, of course, condemned it. He called it a childish curiosity, foolish.
So, wait, your father said this, am I right?
Yes.
Good, because I'm thinking maybe that some of this has to do with a poor relationship between you and your father.
What the heck does that have to do with anything?
Calm down, big guy. I'll get to you soon. But, Frankenstein, I want to know what came out of this obsession. What fascinated you so much about the unknown?
I don't know what fascinated me so much. Maybe it was the authority that man can have over nature.
So this is a power struggle?
I don't know. Look, I mean, I dropped Agrippa after a while, but when I got to school, I thought, maybe some of this stuff is possible.
So it was possible, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, after a few test trials, I found, yes, I had the capabilities to make the perfect man.
The perfect man, huh?
So not all went according to plan, I assume.
Well, I mean, it was going good. And
Yeah, he ran scared as soon as he saw me.
That's not necessarily. I was in a very dark place.
And you were not willing to accept the responsibility of caring for another being?
Well, yeah, wait. What was that?
Okay, now I want to hear from you. How did this affect you?
Oh, man. I was traumatized, and when the first one I ever saw, the first person I ever saw, looked at me and just looked at me like I was some sort of
Some kind of monster?
Exactly. A monster. I didn't know what to do. I had to get out of there. I had to get out of there really fast. I had to get out of there.
So what did you do?
I ran off into the woods that I found this family. It was a family living in the woods. Just a poor family.
And did they take you in, care for you at all?
Not exactly.
Did you talk to them? Were they your friends?
No. I sort of just watched.
So you were stalking them?
No, not stalking to them. I just hung around and I watched them.
But they didn't like that, I assume.
No, they didn't. I mean, I brought them things. I brought them wood for the fireplace.
And they didn't thank you either, did they?
No, they did not thank me at all. They should be thanking me.
And I can see this is bringing up a lot of bad energy for you, but I want you to talk about it. Tell us, what did you do with the family in the woods?
Well, I sort of looked for a while, and then I befriended Grandpa.
Oh, okay.
He was blind, you see. He was a blind guy, and I wanted to introduce myself.
And it didn't go too well?
No, not exactly. No, I was doing okay, and then the family started coming back in again, and I sort of lost it.
And it was kind of downhill from there, wasn't it?
It was. The youngest one, Felix, came up and just started pounding me, hitting me. I was just wanted to be a nice guy after all I've been there.
Yeah, I can imagine this is very emotional for you, considering how you looked up to the people like they were your own family. It must have been surreal.
It was. It was mortifying. I couldn't believe it. If only they knew how much I really cared about them. I mean, I love this family. They wouldn't have pushed me away like that.
And they only cared about how you were on the outside, not the inside.
Exactly.
That must have been terrible.
It was awful. I felt terrible inside.
Hello? Are we forgetting about what he did next? I mean, it's like you guys are making me seem like the bad guy.
Oh, come on.
Well, what did you do next?
Well, I felt distraught. People have been calling me a monster all this time, and for the first time in my short life, I actually felt like one.
So you felt like you had to act upon that?
Precisely.
How did you act on these feelings?
by getting back at this one.
Oh, please.
Well, I wanted you to feel, I wanted him to feel exactly the way I felt, lonesome.
Unless you hit him where it hurt.
Not exactly. No.
Yeah, he killed my brother.
What?
Well, come on. I mean, it was in the heat of the moment. It was an accident. It's not my fault.
He was my brother.
Wait, say what you just said again.
What, that I killed his brother?
No, right after that, when you were justifying yourself.
I said it was in the heat of the moment.
Exactly. Now, did you commit any other murders, and if so, did you feel that way?
Well, yeah, most of them, but why is this important?
Well, it's very important. But I want to know, Doctor, just how all this affected you.
How it affected me? Well, how it would have affected anybody. I mean, I was horrified. I was grieved.
You were scared?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it felt like everybody I loved was slipping through my fingers, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Oh, that's a lie.
Are you kidding? That's not
Hey,
a
that's
lie.
enough! Both of you! Do you know how much pain you both have been inflicting on each other? It's ridiculous.
Well, then how do you propose we deal with it?
Well, before we can begin fixing things, I want the both of you to understand that you are suffering from serious psychological disorders. You, I believe, suffer from narcissistic personality disorder.
What? You gotta be joking. I am not.
You see, it's right there. Me. You're constantly thinking of yourself, your abilities, and the effects things will have on you.
Well, just look, this is ridiculous. What are we doing
I
here?
don't know.
Just look at why you created the monster in the first place. You wanted power, which is natural, but what human doesn't want a certain level of control? But once you gain the ability and knowledge to create life, you put on what I see as a god persona or a god complex.
This is ridiculous.
Now, wait a minute. If he was in a god position, why would he sort of abandon his creation?
Well, this brings me back to you being self-centered. Once you made the monster and saw just how terrifying he was, you saw him as a burden to yourself and abandoned him.
What are you talking about? I was terrified.
Yes, terrified of what he could do to you. Not for once did you consider what he, the monster, was thinking or what he was feeling. He suffered and you turned your back on him because it involved seeing things from a point of view that was not your own.
Nonsense.
And you, this obviously had a huge effect on you and your psychology.
Exactly.
I can see you suffering from an insecure attachment disorder.
What does that mean?
Well, you were abandoned very early on in your life, and because of the way you appear physically, abandonment seems to be all you receive from people. This can very often lead to hostile and reserved attitudes, which I can see you expressing currently.
My anger?
Exactly. I see you struggle with anger management, probably because you need to channel your negative feelings in some way.
See, I never stepped back and took a look at my life this way.
This is ridiculous. Narcissism, God complex. You guys are making me seem like the bad guy here. I mean, many people have lost their lives because of what he did.
Oh.
Why do I feel like I'm getting all the blame here?
I'm not denying that both of you are at fault here, but I do think we need to work this out right here and right now.
Oh yeah, how do you propose we do that?
Gestalt therapy?
What?
Gestalt. It's a form of therapy where you each act out your feelings toward each other. I want you to start.
All right.
Alright, now I want you, for the sake of therapy, to imagine this pillow is Dr. Frankenstein. For this to work...
Yes.
Okay, let's try that again, shall we? This time I want you to react calmly and without violence. If you feel angry, express it with your words.
Wait, I thought the whole point was so that he can physically...
Hey, listen, I know what I'm doing. Okay, now you can begin whenever you feel comfortable.
Well, I know you see a lot of anger in me, but you see that all the time, but look, you grew up in a loving home with loving parents, loving friends. I didn't have that. I wanted to have it, but I wanted you to understand how I felt.
Let it out.
That's the way I took away a lot of his friends, so he would feel the same way I did.
Let it out.
I'm trying. But it know, the bottom line is, I realize now how much I need you. You know, I really feel bad about the things I did, but I needed some way. I wanted you, I don't know, maybe hating me was a feeling that you would have, but at least you'd have some feeling toward me. And I want to let you know, man, I'm sorry for what I did.
I'm sorry too.
Well, this session seems to be good now, so, I have an appointment with Dracula at 2 o'clock, so, yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye!